Would you like to read one of your works, which not the whole thing, but a little bit?
We might be here a long time if I was going to read the whole thing. Yeah, I'd be delighted to. What I'll do is I'll read a very short prologue from In for the Kill,
right,
which is a thriller set primarily on the Isle of Wight,
right,
but also in Portsmouth and Southampton. Right. So all my novels are set in the local
area. And how long
area.
ago did you write this?
This one, I think I wrote this a couple of years ago. It was published last year, published last year, so it's still quite new. And it's only a short prologue.
It's not too scary, is it?
It's not too scary. It's not too scary. No, absolutely not. This is about a guy who's been sent to prison for fraud and embezzlement for a crime that he didn't commit. Oh. And it actually starts when he steps out of Camp Hill prison on the Isle of Wight, his first day of freedom. Oh. Okay. So it's April. There is before and after, like one of those slimming adverts you see in magazines and newspapers. Only my before and after had nothing to do with diet unless you counted prison food. Before prison, I had been confident and successful. I had a family and a career. I had friends. And after? Well, here I am standing outside Camp Hill on the Isle of Wight, getting high on the smell of diesel and petrol fumes, hesitant, with a prison pallor and a prison stoop. For 42 months, 1 week and 2 days, I had dreamt of this moment. Now that it had arrived, I felt a flutter of panic that almost had me scurrying back to the gates of Camp Hill, pleading to be allowed back in. Goodness knows what lifers must feel. Hey, Alex, over here. I pulled myself together and headed towards the black Mercedes. Remember who you once were, I said to myself. But that Alex Albury had vanished one September when, in the early hours of the morning, the police had burst into my home on the Hamble and had arrested me for something I hadn't done. I climbed into the waiting car and glanced at my defence lawyer. Miles gave me a brief nod before pulling out into the traffic. We didn't speak. As the prison receded, my breathing became easier. My pulse settled down and I felt the tension drain from my body. As we climbed braiding down, the sparkling blue of the Solent in the distance stole the breath from me. It was then that I knew, no matter what the cost, I would find James Andover. I would ask him why he had framed me, and then I would destroy him as he had destroyed me.